guys, so we're on page 475 and we're just going to roll through here and we are going to be looking at fascism. So this is Wednesday World History, tomorrow's your last day and you are free to fly after that. So Mussolini in Italy starts the fascist party in Italy. Turn on to the next page and you will see Adolf Hitler, not a very nice man, as you all probably know. He was born in Austria-Hungary. His high school history teacher was a pan-Germanist, and he began to dream of a united people. However, that didn't last very long as he started to want everybody to be blonde hair and blue-eyed, even though he wasn't. As you can see, he was dark-skinned-ish, dark hair, and dark-eyed, and he did not fit his own bill of what was supposed to be perfect. So, isn't that interesting? Alright, so we're going to keep rolling to page 480. All the way through here. And, so something I'm going to send you guys is from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He was an important part of this society, and so was the Diary of Anne Frank. She was a Jewish girl that had to hide because of the Nazis, and so I'm going to send you something about her and her life. She was a Christian. I've read several things about her and read several quotes and things that she's written. I've never read the whole Diary of Anne Frank, but I have read parts of it. I don't know if I get through all of it because I can cry pretty easy. So Hitler had this rise to power, and everybody thought he was going to be really nice and like unite Germany. And he used a lot of persuasive propaganda. He was a good public speaker, and that was one of the first things I did in one of my first ever comm classes. We actually watched speeches from Hitler and wrote papers on it because he was known for being such a good communicator. And sadly, he took that good communication and used his power for bad. Obviously, that happens often, more often than not. So you can see there those blonde hair on page 480, those blonde hair, blue-eyed people that he found to be just absolutely perfect, even though they're not. And so what always comes to my mind with this is just the Holocaust, and it's hidden a lot in Germany, and a lot of people in Germany that are Germans do not like to talk about it. I did have one boy in my class who was German, and Brian, and he actually lived near where Adolf Hitler lived. And he didn't seem to understand the severity of the Holocaust. I just don't think they're taught. I think it's very hidden, hush-hush kind of situation. I don't think that they're taught the severity of it. I don't think that they're taught how many people died and like what happened. So that's just part of it. We're going to turn on to page 492. We're just going to kind of keep rolling because it's all part of World War II, so we're just going to kind of keep rolling through Thursdays, and then tomorrow, like, you guys are done after this, so we're going to keep rolling to 492 here, and how the powers are separated. So the Axis powers, Great Britain, France, America, the Axis powers was Germany, Italy, and Germany and Italy there, and the Allies were France and us and England. I actually did place some bit of a pause in this, but if you keep turning to 496, this is kind of where we're going to park for a few minutes, and it's sad, and I hate that this happened, but it's important that we learn about it. So basically, the Holocaust, it was, they took all these Jewish people and they put them in these concentration camps, and they did terrible things to them. Just awful things. I'm going to write some stuff down here as we go. And it's just a reality. Like, I hate that we're going to talk about it on one of our last days. But it's a reality, but it shows us where we came from. Hitler was an evil, evil man. But even in the midst of that evilness, God was still using people like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was a German theologian, to write wonderful things. C.S. Lewis wrote a lot of things during this time, but persuasion was a big part of it. And so anyway, in the Holocaust, they took these people and they stripped them. They had nothing. They didn't feed them hardly anything. They put them in these rooms and they gas chambered them. And honestly, the sad part is I'd watched this thing before where it basically talked about how Hitler had brainwashed people so much from his communication style. Just they were so kind of infatuated with his arousal and his charm and who he was, that people didn't really even understand what they were doing. I think that they were just honestly so brainwashed by the evil that they didn't even really comprehend what they were doing to these people. That we love, that is from where our people came from. So is out of Christianity. Jewish Christianity came out of Judaism, and so it's just sad. And so we've had people come to Brian and talk about it and talk about Auschwitz and just how awful and how terrible it was. Towards the end of the war, the Germans grew desperate, and most incoming victims were sent directly to the gas chambers. The slaughter was so immense that they couldn't keep up with the demand. Millions of Europeans, including communists, gypsies, mentally and physically disabled, and the Jehovah's Witnesses, died in Nazi concentration camps. So we think of it typically as just Jewish people. However, there was a large number of other types of people in there, those who had already joined the Jehovah's Witness cult. Gypsies, who, if you don't know what that is, they were typically Romanian, Bulgarian ethnicity, and moved from place to place. And he didn't. Basically, if you didn't fit his bill, you were just done for. And it just blows my mind how much power that this man had. So something to kind of look into was on page 498, how America got involved in the war. For a long period of time, America wanted to remain out of the war. We had just gotten out of the Great Depression. We didn't really want to get back into another war and have another depression at the end of that. But the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and so when that happened, which is in obviously Hawaii, and so when that happened, America fought back. If you keep turning, and then eventually we do win the war, thankfully, and there's peace for some time. We've not had necessarily another world war since, praise God. So what a time to end on. We see all these bad things, but we see how far we've come from it, that now in Germany people can be Jewish, and people of all races are celebrated there now, and how far we've come since then. And that wasn't that long ago. A lot of your maybe great-grandparents were alive during World War II. I know my grandmother was, and when she was alive, she's no longer alive, but she was alive during World War II, and there are several veterans from World War II that are still living. Not a whole lot, but some, and so I just think we need to just be so grateful from where we came and see that as a positive thing. It doesn't really show it in this book necessarily, but during this time, children in Europe had to actually come to America. They actually sent them to America to live with American families because it was safer. Here, they practiced at night, shutting off all the lights in different places that they thought might be attacked, just because they thought, okay, if we turn off the lights, maybe they won't see the houses to bomb them. And so that was something that was kind of practiced here and listening on the radio. But in England, there was a lot of bombings, and so families, especially in bigger cities, sent children to live with other people. And actually, C.S. Lewis took in children, and that's how he actually wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. Was about taking in children from the war. So I'll send you guys links to some of this stuff, and you guys can just read about it. It's a very interesting time. It can be depressing, but don't let it be depressing, because we know that there was victory afterwards, and we're not there anymore, thank God. So anyway, we're done with world history, guys. We're done. Have a great summer. I wish we were in class together. I wish I could hug you all goodbye, and I miss you lots, and can't wait till I can throw the globe at you again and say, oh, well, it was, I'll quiz you about this stuff when you get back. So, have a great summer, guys.